Eli, what's up, dude? I was bored, so I decided let's do something NFL related, you know? Hopefully Cheesy comes in. 'Cause I don't really would prefer not to start until Choosy's at least here. But we're gonna rank the starting QBs. I think that's a good start for ranking NFL stuff. And then I think the next time we will do like wins, how many wins each team's gonna get. So we'll see. Hopefully Choosy stops in first, but we'll wait. But hey, hopefully you're doing good, Eli. I'm so ready for the season, man. You're gonna have some hot takes. Probably so am I. Um, if you have, what do you think of the tier spots? Do I need to readjust anything? Do I need to rename anything? Um, I'm thinking great is great. You know, they're just great quarterbacks. Good has potential. I don't know. Like I don't know if we need to like redo the selections. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait till Madden comes out. That way I can start revamping the Titans, you know. First things first, man, is get rid of any old player that has contract going to be ending, then work from there. Try to build the offense up, get some defensive pieces. It's gonna be fun. Now that there's five of us in the franchise this year, it ought to be interesting to see how that goes. That's so true. That's honestly an accurate statement. Um, Letting your fantasy team determine what your mood's going to be for the week, 100%. And that'd be so cool if I was able to like stream my draft, like who I'm drafting, but it's a live draft, so I don't have much time to really like let people like, you know, say what they think because it's not. Now, if it was an offline draft, that'd be different, but I have an online draft, so you only have like between my league like 30 seconds to pick a player, so it's not like super long. Our drafts are pretty quick. Yeah, me and the guys, we all get together in person, but it's all like it's not one of them offline drafts where the commissioner manually enters the team. We all get together, but as soon as we draft a player, it goes to our team. Like it's, I know some people will have like a sheet and like they fill out like who they want, but then you have to keep track of who's taken, who's not taken. Um, But no, we all get together and hang out for like the evening, and then we just kind of just all draft together. We can all draft straight from our phones most of the time. But hopefully, Choosy stops in because I really would like her to be here because she's just as big of a football fan as we are. I think we're the only three that would even be really in depth with this one. Anything I feel like football related, us three are going to be the main three when it comes to any 2 cents and any opinions. Hey, he's just one of them where it's like he really does. He couldn't probably give two shits about football. I mean, he's watched it in his life, but he's not super like a fan of it, to be honest. Like, going back to the draft, I have my league drafts on the 16th, which is about 2 weeks, and then my friend's league drafts on the 31st, I think. The only reason mine's typically I don't do my draft until like the Sunday before the season starts, but this year, most of the guys couldn't get together that on that day, so we had to move it kind of in the middle of August instead of the end of the month. But it is what it is. Yours is the 31st too. Nice. What app do you guys use? I have my one is on NFL Fantasy. My other one is on ESPN. You get 14 teams is wild. That that almost leaves you pretty much nobody to pick from once you get past a couple couple rounds. It's like crazy. Um, but we do keeper league, so you do get one keeper from your team um, to choose from before the draft. Points per reception, I think so. Actually, let me. Also, there's an ad break coming soon in about 30 seconds. I'm pretty. Yeah, we do. I think we do. Let me look. Let me go to my scoring here. Now, my scoring is a lot more than traditional leagues. It's because when I first set the league up, I didn't really know what I was doing, and then we ended up just liking how the scoring was, so I just kept it. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure we do that. Scoring settings. Let's look at this. Yes, we do. Ad break. I'll wait till you're back. Superflex and tight end premium. I have no idea what that is. Um, Yeah, I have no idea. And our position numbers, my personal league, we have a little bit more positions that you can have rather than the traditional one, two, two, and one. Superflex is two quarterbacks. Yes. So we have two quarterbacks, two running backs, three receivers, two tight ends, a kicker, a defense, and then we also have we have a lineman, two linebackers, and a DB. Ad break. Let me know if you're still here, Eli, or you got caught by the ads. Tight end premium means tight end get more points per reception. Interesting. Now, for me, my just it's all the same for running backs, wide receivers, or tight ends. If they it's the same amount of points for a reception for all three of them across the board. But no, I see what the reason my scoring gets up a lot is I give bonuses for certain like milestones in the game. So that's why a lot of times my scoring is a lot higher because I do give those bonus fantasy points. We got a minute left of ads. Give an example of a milestone. I guess that's what you would consider them as. So, for example, like you get five bonus points if your quarterback throws for 400 plus yards in a game. You get 3 points from 300 to 400. You know, if your quarterback's going to ball out, you ought to get some bonus for that. You know, or for example, like you get 5 points for 200 rushing yards in a game. Um, things like that. Same with receiving. If you have over 200 receiving yards, you get 5 points. 100 to 199, 4 points. If your guy balls out, you should be rewarded for your guy balling out. You know, that's why a lot of times, on average, quarterbacks in my league will get an average between 50 and 70 points. And that's like 15 points in like a regular league. But I have my scoring is very high in the sense of like bonuses and stuff. So that's why a lot of times our weekly totals will be in the 2 to 300s for like the whole team. Part of me wants to remove the two tight ends, but like people like it, so I'm like, I'll keep it. And then of course you have the regular PATs and the field goals and like stuff like that, sacks, interceptions, safeties, touchdowns, points allowed. That's what I'm saying. But it's like I have to have everyone agree to it though, and that's the thing. It's like asked like the guys, I'm like, do you want to go to down to one tight end? And a lot of them kind of said no. A lot of them want to keep the two tight ends. But I'm kind of thinking I change it down to one, honestly, because you don't have. Oh, and then we have a flex spot too. I forgot we have a flex spot on the offense. But I just think that there's not that many tight ends to have two. You don't do any defenses or kickers. Yeah, we do one kicker, one defense, and like I said, we do four defensive players. So you have one lineman, two linebackers, and a DB. It's something that I did very early on in the league, in my league, and everyone seemed to like that little bit of a difference compared to traditional leagues. Um, so honestly, I think I might change to one tight end. Honestly, roster, edit roster positions. I think tight end. I'm going to go to one. Honestly, you got any sleepers this year? You know, if I'm willing, I'm not. I'm willing to take a risk on Ashton Genty later in the draft if he's still there. I think the Raiders could use like a really. I think Genty could be. I think he could be a really good running back in the league. But again, he's playing behind the Raiders' offensive line, which isn't like top tier. But I would run the willing to run the risk on Genty later if he's still around. I would draft him maybe and like hold on to him and see how he does. If he really starts to tear off, put him in the starting lineup. Um, I'm thinking maybe like who's in the quarterbacks here? Is there anybody? I think Jaden Daniels is still gonna. I think he's gonna. He might have a little bit of a dip this year, but I think Jaden's gonna be a guy that you could like definitely Genty's going to go high. I know he probably is, but I don't think I'm going to waste a pick on him because he's a rookie and he's it's just so uncertain of how rookies are going to do in the league anymore. Even though I did take a risk on Jamar Chase when he was a rookie and it worked out. I did the same thing with McCaffrey, but I don't know. I don't really know if I have too many sleepers. I think Genty could be a good one. I, who I don't. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Cedric Tillman is a late round. Is he is he a rookie? Cedric Tillman. I feel I don't know too many. I don't know a lot of rookies off the top of my head. I have to really like start watching them play to really know all the names. Brian Thomas, yeah, my brother took Brian Thomas for the Jags, and he actually started doing really well later in the season. So that was a good one. Who the? Oh, that's who I took. Hold on. And snag Johnny on the waiver. See, in my league, we don't have waivers. Whoever gets him first gets him on free agency. How is Travis Hunter gonna you fuck with that? Like, I think waivers are stupid. Like, if you're like, if you check out who's a free agent and you pick them up, you pick them up. Like, that's just all there is to it. Like, if you get there before somebody else, and sorry about your luck, you were slow. But I always check the free agency after the month. I always check free agency Tuesday morning. As soon as I get up after the Monday night game, I see who dropped who, and like, because I have some people in my league who are kind of stupid when it comes to let's drop somebody because they're on a bye week, and like the one year somebody dropped Lamar and I picked Lamar up because he was on a bye week. I'm like, I'll hold on to him. Like, why would you drop Lamar? Like, I'll get rushing yards and passing yards. But I've snagged many really good players with some people who just think, oh, they're on a bye week. Like, I would much rather just lose the week than drop a player like Lamar Jackson or Jamar Chase. Like, if they have a bye and I don't have a player to fill their position, I'll just keep them in and just hope that I win. And if I get a loss, I take the loss, but I'm not dropping them. They were stupid. That's why. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I didn't mean to drop them. Like, too bad you're not getting them back, dude. It's your own stupid fault. I picked them up. No problem, Eli. I'll be here. Hopefully, I'll wait a little bit longer. Then if Chuzy doesn't stop in, we'll start. Back. All right, we'll wait. Three more minutes, and if Chizzy doesn't isn't here, we'll go ahead and start the conversation. We'll have to. I'll have to do a stream after I draft in both leagues, and I'll have to. We'll have to talk about how I look, like how my team looks. But like I said, I do have a keeper. So this year, I am keeping Jameer Gibbs in my league. I'm keeping Justin Jefferson in the other league that I'm in. Got some coffee. That's fair. Yeah, I think the fact that the Lions had two running backs this year who are fantasy studs in both Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, like either one of them were getting you points last year. It didn't matter which one. I know we need a third person. I just don't want to. I don't like. I don't want to sit here and wait and wait and wait. Unless you're fine with just bullshitting until someone shows up. I just don't want to bore you and waste time. I thought about doing a Don Gibbs was a nightmare to deal with in the playoffs. Yeah, he was good for me in the playoffs, which my playoffs are a little bit different than the rest of yours than standard playoff time. But it didn't matter. I still lost. My playoffs run till the very end of the season. So we have 8 teams in my league, and we do 6 teams make the playoffs, two miss out, and then we do weeks 16, 17, and 18 as the playoffs. We don't do 2 weeks per matchup. It's just one week, one matchup. You win, you move on. A lot of standard leagues have 2 weeks for total points, but ours is just one week. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. What makes it interesting? Let's say you got a guy that's going to be sitting, and then you have to figure out something to win. But plus, I like to make fantasy last up until the final week. I don't like having one week where there's nothing happening. So that's why we extend it to the very end, and everyone has never complained about it. So I'm going to keep it. You'd be the only one. All of us have never had an issue with it, unless there's like a riot where the mass majority of the guys tell me they want to change it, then I'll change it. But it's been that way since 2014, and nobody's. I mean, it's almost been. This is our 10th year, and nobody's complained. Luckily, everyone in the league is all my actual friends. It's my brother, my dad, and some of our good friends. So we won't have to worry about that. But I did change to one tight end. I've been wanting to do that, and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm changing it to one tight end." That's just all there is. Now in the other league I'm in, it's standard. I think it's 15, 16, 17. But you have, maybe it's week 16 and 17. I don't know how it does it. Is there a buy-in or is it for fun? So it is just for fun, but the winner does get a trophy every year. So I do customize. I get like a mini Lombardi trophy that I have a plaque on that I customize with the whoever won their record, their team name, and it'll say 2025 champion. So every year the winner does get a trophy. So, and we started doing that just a couple years ago, because I felt like we needed something to actually represent or give to the winner. Since we tried doing buy-in, and some people said they didn't want to do buy-in, so that's fine. Um, but as commissioner, I decided like 3 years ago the winner's going to start getting a trophy, and the trophy I get, it's on Etsy. There's actually it's a retired veteran. He actually does these custom like small little Lombardi trophies, and I'm just like, and I've been very happy with them for the past 3 years, so I'm going to keep buying them. But that's what I do for the winner, is they get a trophy. And ever since I started doing it, there's been different winners each time. My dad won 3 years in a row from when did he win? 'Cause my dad won 3 years in a row, and then I won. So yeah, like my dad won three in a row from 2017 to 2019, and then I won from 2020 and 2021 back to back. And then a couple friends have won from 22, 3, and 4. Um, but we started back in 2014, which was our first year of the league. 2020 was the first year I won my own league. It took me 6 years to win my own damn league. But my dad, he had a solid 3 straight years. He was dominant. And then, like I said, 2020 and 2021 were my years. And then the last 3 years, we've had three different winners. We've had three different winners even before that. So it was pretty much between 2017 to 2021 that my dad and I were the dominant teams for 5 years straight. You've only been playing seriously for money for 3 years. Interesting. I don't play fantasy for money. So like I'm in two fantasy leagues. I'm in a pick'em league, and then I also do like parlays and shit like that. Which I finally won a good chunk of money at the very end of the season last year. I had no luck on any money lines or parlays that I put in for, and then at the end of the year, I hit like a $40 winner. I'm just like, hell yeah, finally! And all that money's been sitting in my account until this season. I never used to do them until last year. My one buddy, he's like, you should do it. He said, just do like three leggers. Like I was kind of, and then my other friend got it. He's like, yeah. He says you need to get on this. It's fun. So I said, okay. I started doing it, and now I enjoy it, even though I have not broke even yet. But it's fun. I like doing it. I don't recommend getting into betting, but I am enjoying it. I don't do a whole lot of money at one time though. Like I'll deposit a certain amount of money, and then I just work with that. Like typically, I'll bet like a $3 or $5 at the most on one, but most of the time it's like $3 will win me like $11 or something, and then I just small wins add up to big wins later. What is this ad? Why is it up on the screen? Um, let's get rid of that. All right, Eli, do you want to start since it doesn't seem like anybody else is showing up, especially football fanatics? Probably started too early. That was probably the problem. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. I know, sorry, we were yapping and yapping and yapping. I might stream later tonight something else. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what all the boys are doing. If they're gonna play, then I'll probably play with them. We might be waiting all day. That's fair. I don't want to wait all day. Let me just check one other thing and then we'll get cooking. All right. So we'll start. So we got all 32 NFL starting quarterbacks. Some of them I don't recognize. Most of them I do recognize. I think it's just one of the guys that I just don't know who exactly he is. So we'll get to him later. But Rodgers. And we're basing it off of for this season. We're not basing anything off the past. It's just coming into the 2025 season. For me, Rodgers isn't total. I think he goes in like the meh category. Like he's not completely dog shit, but he's not great anymore. Like he's just one of them things where he's just like, what are you gonna get out of Rodgers anymore? Like now, if he comes out and plays like he did in Green Bay years ago, then okay, you impress me. But my feelings towards him going into this season is just very, very mid. Actually, that's a better word to use is mid. You seem to agree with me. So we'll put Rodgers in just straight mid at this point. I feel bad for the guy because he was really good, but he should have retired. I don't think he should have ever went to the Jets. I think his last year in Green Bay when the Lions beat him at the season finale, I think he should have retired. That should have been it. Him walking off the field in Green Bay for the last time, that should have been. But who am I to say that someone should retire if they still like to play football? It's not my place to actually say when someone should or shouldn't retire. But in my opinion, I feel like Rodgers probably should have been done unless he comes out, like I said, unless he comes out of this season and completely smokes everybody. Anthony Richardson. To me, he hasn't shown me anything. I haven't seen much of him to put him above ass. Choosy, oh my God, we're just in time. What's up? We were just talking about fantasy football for like the last 40 minutes. We were hoping that you were going to stop in. Um, but we're ranking all the starting quarterbacks for this season. So we just started. We literally just started. Um, we put Rodgers in mid. Eli and I. You think Richardson has potential? You just woke up. Oh, perfect. Perfect timing. What's nothing better than waking up and talking football, right? I don't know. For me, Richardson, I don't know about him. To me, I think Anthony Richardson is still an ass because he hasn't played a whole healthy season. He's gotten hurt the last 2 years. And when he has played, he hasn't been, at least in my opinion, he hasn't like shown anything super great. I mean, he's just another like big body quarterback like Cam Newton. He's just big. Like, but I don't know. I can't even say I'd put him in mid. I'd said I would have to put Richardson in ass until I see a full season out of him. I don't think I could put him above mid. Usually, what do you think about Anthony Richardson? Right. I mean, Cam could move. That's the thing with Newton is what he was mobile. I don't think Richardson is super mobile. But again, like I said, we haven't really seen a full season out of him. He's been hurt his 2 years in the league. I know. Let me know where you think he goes, choosing. I vote he goes in the ass category. Yeah, he needs to stay healthy. The Colts just haven't had any luck at quarterback since Andrew Luck, realistically. I mean, yeah, they had that one season from Philip Rivers when they went to the playoffs, but really after Andrew Luck, it's been a nightmare. But the need an O line, yeah, they do. The Colts do need an offensive line to protect them. Um, I still think Richardson. I, I don't know. I still think I would put him in the bottom tier. That's where I'm putting him. Baker. I love Baker Mayfield. I love the way he presents himself on the field. He always goes out to the field and he just has this like badass persona to him. I think he's definitely in good at least. You know, he didn't have anybody in Cleveland for one to help him out, and then he got then he got shipped around to Carolina and to LA, and he really didn't get his feet in there. But with Tampa, Baker's been doing really well, and plus when you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, that also helps with that offensive line. Then you got guys on defense like you got Vita Vea and you got Antoine Winfield Jr. and you got is no Devin White went to Philly. Is Levante David still there? You got some of the young ones. You got some of those young guys too. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Baker definitely goes into good. Bo Nix. Bo Nix showed really, really good potential last year. He took Denver somewhere where they haven't been since Peyton Manning was there. You know, he took them to the playoffs the first time in 9 years. Did Denver make the playoffs last year? I can't remember now. Oh, they did. They lost to the Bills. That's right. The Bills blew them out. So do you think Bo Nix is above or below Baker? I think he's below Baker just because he was a rookie last year. Baker better. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Brock Purdy. part of me thinks that Purdy is overrated. I think people hype him up a little bit too much. But I mean, he has shown that he can play. I, how do I feel about Purdy? You guys both think he's good, so I'm outvoted anyway. You think he's underrated? I mean, he did come out and play really well. But last year, I mean, the 49ers just looked like shit. Yes, there was injuries. Yes, there was off the field drama with Debo and Ayuk towards AC. I think Ayuk towards ACL or something. And McCaffrey was hurt the whole season. So yeah, that puts a key factor in why the Niners didn't look good. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Purdy personally. Unless he comes out this year, the Niners are again atop of the NFC West and is dominating. Then I'll change my mind. But I'm still not completely sold on him. We have a friend who's a big Niners fan. I just don't know about Purdy. Is he pretty good with what he had? I mean, he did. Don't get me wrong. The fact that the Niners finished last in the division last year also was surprising because the Cardinals aren't. That's it. We'll get to Kyler Murray later, but oh God, I don't think he's ever going to do anything. All right, so if Purdy's going in good, do you think he's better or worse than Baker? Both of you probably are going to say he's better, is what I'm going to assume. Worse than Baker? I like that. I actually like that. Better than Bo? Yes, because Bo was only a rookie. So we'll split the difference. You're going to put him right in between both Baker and Bo Nix. In between the two, yep, choosing. We all agree for that. Okay, cool. Chase Young or Bryce Young. Jeez. Chase Young was the guy on the Commanders. Bryce Young. I still think Bryce Young is ass. Has potential. I mean, granted, he has nobody in Carolina to really work around him. Do you really think Young has that much potential? Susie, what are you saying? No way about me calling Bryce Young as or has? I mean, Eli. A lot of guys are beasts in college, and a lot of guys when they come to the NFL don't look very good. Anybody can look. I mean, hell, look at Mac Jones. He was decent in college, and then he just turned to dog shit after his first year. I mean, in my opinion, out of the three, out of Mac, Tua, and Jalen, I think Hurts is the better out of the three. Tua hasn't really done shit either. He has no potential. He got better in his second year after getting benched. That's. I mean, he did get better. Yes, I will say that, but he's still not great. I'll die on this hill. He has no potential. Chuzy says he has nothing. So he's on the. So he's in the same boat as Anthony Richardson at this point. He just hasn't shown a whole lot. I mean, the Panthers did win more games last year, so we can confirm that. I mean, hold on, NFL. So what was it last year? How many games did the Panthers win last year? Yeah, no, go back. The Panthers won 5 games last year compared to the year before when they won what, two? So they did win 3 more games. but 5 wins. I don't know. They're really gonna have to change it up. Should have beat the Eagles. Should have beat the Chiefs too, but the Chiefs were losing to the Panthers in most of that game last year. Put them in mid. All right, do we put Bryce Young above or below Rodgers if we're going to go to mid? I will put him in mid. I won't put him in complete ass, I guess. You put him above Rodgers at this point. See, I want to come back. Like, I want to do another tier list at some point, but I want to do a couple NFL tier lists before the season starts because then I want to come back to how we ranked them and see how the teams did. Like when we do the wins, I want to see how close we all were because I'm going to write down all three of our like predictions along with our combined prediction, and I want to see who was the closest. Okay, we'll put him above Rodgers, I guess. Caleb Williams. I hate this guy. He his personality makes me want to hate him. I hope Caleb Williams is a complete bust. I hope he just doesn't ever do anything. Has potential, but mid. I mean, again, he does have potential. He was good with USC. He was. But it's just like I think he's going to be in the same boat as Bryce Young. He's going to be on a team that's never going to do anything to improve his game because the Panthers and the Bears are basically like the same. They're just terrible. I would even would you put Caleb Williams? He's lucky the narrative is his O line sucks. Now, you're saying if he had a better O line, he would be a heck of a lot better. Is that what you're saying, Eli? The narrative is his O line sucks. That's what everyone claims, and everyone excuses. A lot of people are using his O line as the reason why he was bad. You're right. He holds onto the ball. Exactly. He holds onto the ball too long, and then he doesn't get the ball out, and then he gets sacked, and then he throws interceptions, and yeah, I don't think it's all his O line's fault. He I think deserves more blame. Oh, 100%. I believe he deserves more blame as well. You think his O line sucks so bad they can't see how bad he really is? I love how we're all on the same page that Caleb Williams deserves more um, blame for why he's as bad. He's bad because he's bad. Like you can't just blame it on the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line isn't throwing picks and holding the ball too long. But I am so glad in that Week 8 game against the Commanders that Jaden threw that Hail Mary up and the Bears lost after the DB was like basically just mocking Commanders fans, saying they won the game. And then Jaden threw that ball down the field. It was great. It was the best thing I've ever seen. I thought that was the funniest shit. I put him in ass. I'm down to put Caleb Williams in ass. I'll even put him below Anthony Richardson. Now, I can't wait for people who ever end up watching this. I can't wait for the comments for this. I can't wait for Bears fans to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. It's like, no, I'm not delusional. I'm, I'm not delusional like Cowboys fans are. Okay. Cam Ward. Eli, what do you think about your rookie quarterback? Has potential. I also agree with that statement. I think Cam Ward could be really a really decent quarterback, honestly. It'll be fun to play as him in Madden. You don't know a lot about this one. Didn't watch too much of him in college, but I did see enough to where he definitely has some really good NFL potential in him. And it should be fun to play him as Madden though. Since I'm gonna be the Titans, I wanted a guy that could move and Cam Ward can move. So but yeah, he's definitely got potential. He's a rookie. I think most of the rookies have potential. Or anybody who hasn't played all except I don't know about this one. We need to see him play. Exactly. So the only thing we can do is put him in potential. All rookies have potential. You're saying to make another category for like rookies we haven't seen play or anybody we haven't seen play? Yeah, I think he deserves right in potential because that's the only place we could put him. Any of these guys we haven't seen play, we have to put him in potential. But even some guys that have played, I think still has. Yeah, I caught on to that, Eli. I was a little slow, but yeah, I caught on what you were saying. And we can't put him in good. Yeah, we have to put him right in the middle in the has potential category. Um, so yeah, Cam Ward potential. C.J. Stroud, I'm mixed with him. There's times where CJ looks really good, and there's times where he looks bad. So like I don't really know where to put Stroud. I'm conflicted. I am too. Like there's games where he looks really damn good, and then there's other games where it's like you watch it, it's like, is this the same guy? His O line sucks. I mean, that is true. I agree with you on that one, Eli. Funny on how many teams the offensive line sucks. It's true. There's a couple teams who have a really good offensive line. I don't know. Do we need another category to put guys that? Do we need to put another tier in? Good is what I'm. I mean, CJ Stroud is good. I think he's below. At this point, I think he would probably be between Purdy and Nix if we're gonna go good. Or do we just make completely another like hit or miss tier? I think if Stroud gets a better offensive line, the man could ball out on a regular basis, not just certain games he does well, other games he goes back down, up and down. If he gets some more completeness in that team, I think the Texans could be something to watch. But the Texans in general are still in just that mid category. They went 10-7. Like they're just kind of in that middle range of barely getting the division. It's not like they're blowing the Jags, Colts, and Titans like that far in the records. I don't know. I almost feel like we should make another tier, hit or miss tier, because that's where he's at right now. But they did have a winning season. That is true. They did. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They did, in fact, have a good year. They went 10-7 last year. Where'd they go the year before? They went 10-7 again. So they went 10-7 in 2023. Last year they went 10-7 again. And realistically, they won the division last year by 2 games. They won the division in 2023 by 1 game. So they're not really that much farther ahead than the Colts and the Jags. I don't know. I think I might have to make another tier, honestly. I think I have to add a hit or miss tier because that's where Stroud's goes, in my opinion. Like he either has a really good game or he has really bad games. And until he proves otherwise, he's a hit or miss quarterback right now. And I think the next one's the same way. I think Dak is exactly the same way. Before Dak got hurt last year, he wasn't playing good. He still didn't look great. He, I think Dak is also hit or miss. Like Cowboys fans think Dak is the best thing ever, and it's just like no, the guy chokes in the playoffs. You know, if he has a great regular season, he can't do anything come postseason. What was the Cowboys' record before he got hurt in 2023? What was the Cowboys? Cowboys were 12-5. And they had the highest scoring offense in total points that year. That was the year they didn't lose a game at home. The Cowboys were putting numbers up, but again, in the playoffs they lost. I think now they are starting to turn on Dak. He shit the bed. Yeah, before he got hurt, he still was playing like shit. And honestly, Cooper Rush was actually playing better in some of those games after he got hurt than Dak was beforehand. I think he would be better on a different team because, again, Jerry Jones does nothing to help the Cowboys at all. And now recently, Micah wants out of Dallas. He wants a trade. And Cowboys fans are getting ready to like explode because Jerry Jones is the most idiotic owner in the NFL. His Jerry Jones's ego gets in the way of him actually improving the Cowboys. Jerry needs to get out of Dallas. That'll be the best thing for the Cowboys is if Jerry sells the team, retires, and gets away from it. They're saying if Dak comes to Nashville or Jerry Parsons. Oh, Parsons, yeah. My friend, he's a Commanders fan, and he's like, Micah wants to come back and play for Dan Quinn. I said, could you imagine if Micah goes to Washington? And then he like absolutely just basically just says fuck you to Dallas. I could see him going to either Philly or Washington just so he could like play against Dallas and like show Dallas like you should have paid me money. I wouldn't see him going to the Giants, but I could see Washington or Philly being a spot that Michael could go. Cowboys would never do it. That's the same like with Terry. Terry wants that he wants a trade for Washington because Commanders aren't paying him. But but I did see that both Cowboys and Commanders have no interest in trading Parsons or McLaurin. But when the player comes out and says they want to trade, teams are going to be calling Dallas and Washington um, to see what they can get out of them. But I'm putting Dak in hit or miss along with CJ Stroud. He's either really good or he's really bad. It's one of the two. It's never in between. We have an ad coming in 30 seconds, so I'll wait till you guys are back before we move on to Drake May. I feel like trade requests are a negotiation tactic. It could be. Yeah, we'll wait till everyone's back from the ads before we move on to May. You're back. We get lucky and avoid the ads. Oh, you guys are both here? I don't know why my headset turned off there for a second. That was weird. Okay. So if you guys are here, let's I think they were a short ad. Oh, so my end it still says the ad break's still another minute. That's why I was confused. But I think Drake May has potential. Eli, same. Drake May's got potential. I think New England is finally starting to maybe get some good pieces. I mean, they just have some pieces around Drake May. I mean, they did sign Stephon Diggs, even though Diggs is a diva. But I think Drake May has just as much potential to grow as Cam Ward. Was there for a while after Brady left. New England kind of was in a shit show stage. But I think now I think Drake May definitely showed. Even last year, he showed potential. Even then, I think he's going to be better than I think people think. I think he'll get New England back to the playoffs at some point. That's my thought. Gino, Gino's kind of an interesting story because he was drafted by the Jets. He didn't really do much. And then he went to Seattle and he actually looked half okay. But I still don't think he's in the same category as CJ or Dak even. I think Gino belongs. They wrote him off. I love when he said that. He's like they don't write whatever the hell he said. They wrote me off. Yeah, but he did improve his game though when he did go to Seattle. I'll give him that. He did improve his play, um, but he still couldn't really get over. They fell apart. They fell apart at the end of the season. Like they looked good, then they kind of like went to shit, and then they looked okay again. But I agree. I think he's with Bryce Young and Rogers though. Would you put Would you put Gino above Bryce Young, in between Young and Rogers, or would you put Gino below Rogers? Above? So you're saying you would put him above like both of them? Always above Rogers. At this point, most guys are going to be above Rogers at this point. And unless, like I said, unless he comes out this year and balls out, which I highly doubt, but I think Gino is better than Bryce Young. Now he's on the Raiders though, so now he really doesn't have really a good team around him. Yeah, I'm going to put Gino above Rogers and Bryce Young. I think Jalen belongs in great, in my opinion, but we'll see what you guys think. I think Jalen Hurts belongs in great. I think he's a great quarterback. I mean, hell, he dominated. I mean, the Eagles dominated that Super Bowl last year. And I don't. I think Jalen Hurts doesn't get enough credit even now. Every time I see guys talk, like analysts talk about Jalen Hurts, they always say that he's not a top 10 quarterback, which is bullshit. Jalen Hurts is easily a top 10 quarterback in this league. Do we need to put a very good category? Like, do we need to add another one yet above great? No, that's fine. You'd put him in very good. See, I think he's great. I think he's better than Baker. Obviously, they shit on him for no reason. Facts. I think people just love to hate the Eagles for no reason. I think most people hate to see the Eagles succeed. My dad's an Eagles fan, so I was cheering for the Eagles in that Super Bowl. I would have cheered for the Eagles anyway. Anybody over the Chiefs. Who wants to see Mahomes win anything? Not me. But yeah, I Jalen belongs. I mean, he's better than any other quarterback that we've already ranked because of the fans. Well, the fans are passionate. Philadelphia sports fans are just passionate about their teams. Like I'm a Philadelphia baseball fan, but I don't think I yeah Hurts belongs in great at this point. Nothing's going to tell me otherwise. The Eagles are going to be a team to beat for many years. Like Jalen doesn't run his mouth. That's another thing. Hurts just stays to himself. He stays quiet. He says very little. He focuses and he fucking plays football and he dominates his. And people say, "Oh, the defense. Oh, they have Saquon and da 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 da." It's like, yeah, you throw another quarterback on that team. I don't think the Eagles win the bowl. I mean, obviously, there's other quarterbacks that could have won the bowl with Philly, but you put another guy on the team that's not Burrow, Lamar, Allen, Mahomes. I don't think another team wins. And I know if people ever see this video, I know there's going to be guys who are going to start complaining that we put Jalen at great, but it's deserved. I don't see any, like I said, I don't see any other quarterback other than maybe four guys that could have been on the Eagles to win that game or win like he has been winning. Yes, it helps when your defense is good. Yes, it helps when your offensive line is the best offensive line in football. Yes, it helps when you have a 2,000 yard rusher behind you. But you throw a guy like hell, you throw Baker on the Eagles. The Eagles aren't winning that game. You throw C.J. Stroud on the Eagles, they're not winning that game. You throw Jared Goff on the Eagles, maybe they win the game. But in my opinion, Jalen Hurts belongs with Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, and Mahomes. Jalen belongs in the same category as them. I think as much as I hate to put Mahomes up there, those are the five best quarterbacks in the league. Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Burrow, Jalen Hurts. I feel bad for Burrow because he doesn't have a defense. The man could throw for 400 yards, score 40 points, and the defense would let up 50 points. Oh, we'll get there. Um, I think Jared Goff is in the highest of good. I mean, he can play. Jared Goff has, I think, improved greatly since he went to Detroit compared to when he was with LA. I think he's at the top of good. I think he's better than Baker. I'll see what you two think. You both agree? Okay. Put Goff above Baker. See, I would love for Nick Wright, a dumbass. He, you guys know who Nick Wright is, don't you? The one who's on First Things First, I think it is. And he's always bashing Jalen Hurts, and he thinks Mahomes this and Mahomes that because he's a Chiefs fan. So it's like he calls it the Mahomes Mountain. I'm just like, dude, just be quiet. More like Nick Wrong. Exactly. That guy's an idiot. He has some of the worst takes I've ever heard in football. Okay, yeah, Mahomes is unfortunately he is probably the best statistically in Super Bowl rings out of the rest of the quarterbacks. But in overall, I think I think never mind. He thinks he's so smart is what triggers me. Exactly. Nick Wright is such a fucking idiot. He is delusional. You want to talk about delusional? That's what Nick Wright is. Because he's the one who thinks that Jalen Hurts is not even a top 10 quarterback. And you're like, really? Jaden Daniels, man, I people claimed that Jaden Daniels is already in the great discussion, but he played 1 year. Jaden only played 1 year, but I do think he's very he has some very high potential in the NFL. I mean, last year he took the Commanders to the NFC Championship game. I mean, yeah, they got just completely just destroyed by Philly, but he was great last year. He was. The man took a team to the team that was owned by an idiot, a team that was in desperate need of help, and Jaden took the Commanders to a whole new level. But I need to see more. Now, if he comes out this year and does the exact same, then we have a discussion of Jaden is probably a great quarterback already. But he needs to do exactly what he did this year, like he did last year. If he takes the Commanders to a 12-5 record again or better, then we have. Then I think Jaden is in a great discussion already in his career. I think he at this point I think he's at a very high good because I do need to see another year of this. Now, I mean, it's not going to be surprising if he takes a slight step back this year. Most rookies will take a step back at some like most young quarterbacks. Not rookie, he was a rookie last year, but a lot of young quarterbacks will take some sort of a step back somewhere. I think I would even put him. He beat Jared Goff in the playoffs, so I kind of have to put him above Goff, right? Like he flat out beat the Lions in Detroit. Like I feel like I have to put Jaden above Goff. You guys agree with that? Maybe, maybe not. I would personally would put Jaden over Jared Goff. Choosy agrees. You agree, Eli? All right, so we're putting Jaden at the top of good, but I need to see another year out of him before I can even start the great discussion. JJ McCarthy, I think, has potential. He looks really good right now in training camp. Yes, it's training camp, but the poor guy tore his ACL in preseason last year. I feel bad. My brother's a Vikings fan, so he was hyped to have McCarthy, and then he gets hurt. Um, but we haven't seen him because he got hurt. But I think McCarthy has potential. That's really all where you can put him. I do think JJ McCarthy has just as much potential as the other two, in my opinion. No, they're not, and I'm afraid he's already going to be kind of behind in his career before it even starts because of that ACL tear. Like I hate to see a young guy come into the league and then already have an injury like that before his season, before he can even really start his career. So I hope he is able to play this year, and I hope he has some success. I kind of am cheering for the guy, honestly. The Vikings need something to go their way, and last year my brother was like, "Man, Sam Darnold." I'm like, "It's Sam Darnold." I said he's gonna look like Sam Darnold at some point, and he sure did in the playoffs. Yeah, the Vikings had a 14-3 record or whatever it was, but it's just like the Case Keenum year. In 2017, Case Keenum went to the Vikings and they had Case had like a year, the best year of his career. But I kept telling my brother, I said, he's gonna look like Case Keenum. Like he's going to look like who he is. And that's exactly what Sam Darnold was last year. But anyway, I hope the Vikings actually do. I want the Vikings to succeed at some point. One for my brother's sake. Case Keenum is him. They did look really good, but then they got blown out by the Eagles when the Eagles went on to win their first ring. Um, Burrow goes in great. I'll just is he above? I think he's below Jalen because Burrow hasn't won a ring yet. I think Jalen's still above him. Of course, if we go by rings, then Mahomes would be at the top, and I don't want to put Mahomes at the top. But do you think Burrow's better than Jalen? Above Jalen? So we're gonna put Burrow above Jalen Hurts. I personally, I'm not putting Mahomes at number one. I can already tell you that. I'm not doing it. And I don't care if I get hate for it. I just can't do it. Burrow is a baller, though. That man can sling the football. And I was cheering for Joe, and that's in the bowl against the Rams. I want Joe Burrow to win this the ring. I wanted the Bengals to win, but he just came up short. But I think the Bengals are going to be there again. The Burrow will get back to the Super Bowl, and I do think Burrow will win at least one ring in his career. Same with Josh Allen. I think Allen will win at least a ring. If not, I Allen just needs to get over the hump to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's the only thing that's holding the Bills back is them losing to the Chiefs every year. Allen needs to win. Exactly. Um, but yeah, we'll put Burrow above Hurts. I'm okay with that. Jalen's going to be in the top five. There's only going to be like five quarterbacks in great, so we already know kind of who they are going to be. Um, at this point, this version of Joe Flacco is ass. He's the starting quarterback as of right now for the Browns. Is he the Browns? I think he is. Yeah, this at this point, Flacco's bad. 10 years ago, Joe Flacco is different. Yeah, he's too old. Like, yeah, Flacco, I'm sorry. Your Baltimore days, you probably would have been very high. But at this point in your career, man, I don't know how you're still playing football. In the sense of, I'm surprised he hasn't wanted just to stop playing. Um, but I mean, think about it. The Browns have they have such a very. I swear the Browns are just a team that continues to want to be bad because they got Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shador, and Dylan Gabriel. Like, what are we doing with one, two rookie quarterbacks, an old quarterback, and a quarterback that really has not proved that he's starting worthy? Who knows? Jordan Love. Jordan Love definitely has shown an increase in play over the last 2 years. I think he's in good. I think he's probably in the Goff Baker. You think he's low good, Eli? I think he's somewhere around Goff and Baker. Mid good, Tuesday. That's where I'm saying. I'm thinking he's somewhere around. Like I said, I think he's. I would even argue that he's in between. I think he'd be put in between Jared Goff and Baker. Below Baker. So you think he's between Mayfield and Purdy? You agree, Eli? Okay. If you guys agree, we can put Jordan Love in between Baker and Purdy. I kind of thought about putting Jordan Love above Baker Mayfield though, because Jordan Love has looked really good. I mean, so has Mayfield, but Jordan Love's one of them. It's just like, where do you actually put him? I don't think I would put another guy on the list outside of three. I don't think I would put anybody else above Jordan Love, other than the other couple that are going to go to the top tier. I think we'll keep him there for now. If we want to move him around, we can, but we'll leave Jordan Love right there. Um, Obviously, Josh Allen, he's going to great. Now, do you guys think Allen's better or worse than Burrow? I think he's probably just a little bit better than Joe. I hate putting Jalen Hurts at the bottom like that, though, because I think Jalen just needs more respect. But he's in the great tier anyway. Yeah, Josh Allen's going to go just above Joe Burrow. That's a pretty easy one. See, I want Justin Fields to succeed, man. Like, how hard is it for a guy to just give this guy some sort of like help? I thought the Steelers were going to be a fit for him. See, Eli, I don't agree with that. I don't think Justin Fields is ass. I don't. He played better than Russ last year. When they put Justin Fields in, I liked what I saw over Russell Wilson. I would have been much more happier if we never started Russ. I would have been perfectly fine if we kept Justin Fields as the starter the whole season. I don't. I see. I think Justin Fields is better than ass. Wilson is ass. Facts. We'll put Wilson in ass, but I don't think Justin Fields is ass. I mean, the guy really hasn't had anything around him either to help him succeed. I think a lot of people hate too much on Fields. With the Jets, that's just another team that he's going to go and waste his career. He's going to be a quarterback that had so much potential, and it's going to be wasted because he's going to be on a bunch of shitty teams. I kind of want to put Justin Fields in the potential tier because I still think he has his potential to succeed a little bit. I think he's I think he's good enough to succeed a little bit. Now, I don't think he's on the level of the good tier. I don't think he's around Jaden and Goff and Baker and Love and Bo Nix. But I think he's in the same. I think he has potential. I don't. I don't want to misread your name. But thank you for rating. This could be a hot topic for anybody who's a football fan. But this could be people are going to hate our tier list. But that's just what it is. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, Raiders. We're just kind of chilling out, talking about football, talking about quarterbacks, getting ready for the season to start. If any of you are football fans, please feel free to stay and finish the discussion. Oh, Ogre, what's up? I didn't know you were in there with them. Uh, but thank you again, Geppetto. I'm probably butchering that name, but again, I appreciate it. Ogre, welcome. How are you doing? We're just we're just chilling, ranking quarterbacks for the upcoming season. I don't know if you're a sports fan or not, Ogre, but I'm a huge football guy, and so is Choosy and Eli. So we're kind of just chilling out. I wasn't sure what I wanted to stream today, but I've been hyped for the season, so we're kind of just hanging out. So Eli, Choosy, where do you want to put Justin Fields? I want to put him in potential because he still just doesn't have he hasn't had anything around him yet. I know Eli, you don't think he's good enough to succeed. I kind of want Pippin Larkin too. Oh, okay, that's fair. Tell him thank you. I appreciate that. I know Eli, you want to put Justin Fields in as I get it. Um, but yeah, Ogre, please tell him thank you. If there's anybody new here, please say hi. We do many different things on the channel. Tier lists are one of them things we just started doing not too long ago. I like doing tier lists, but for the most part, for anyone new, we do some simulators, um, some platformers, some other game shows, a bunch of other things in here. So if you want to stick around, feel free to. I don't know if I'm going to stream again later after we get the tier list done. Um, but there's a lot of clips on the channel. If you want to, you can always look back and see some things that I've done. But it's a pretty chill channel for the most part. Eli and Choosy and Ogre can probably vouch for that. But we're kind of we just have fun here. We're relaxed, we're chill, and we just you put them in potential, either that or hit or miss. Oh my gosh, where do I put Fields? I Eli, I know you keep saying he's ass. I just don't think Justin Fields is that bad of a quarterback. I mean, he's okay from what I've seen. I just don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. Choosy, I'll just split everybody. I'll just split the difference. I'll just put him in hit or miss. Fine, whatever. I think he has potential. Eli thinks he's ass, but you said you'll put him in hit or miss, so whatever. We'll just put Justin Fields in there. We'll just split the difference. He needs the right team. Fair. We need to switch game show nights to Saturday when Tyler is off. Well, the thing is, Eli, Tyler's schedule may be changing very, very shortly. So potentially Tyler, whenever his schedule changes, I don't know why my headset just turned off. Um, maybe I should plug it. Maybe it's dying. Maybe that's the reason why it keeps turning off. Let me plug it in. How about that? How about we do that? Hold on a second. But yeah, as I was saying, Tyler's schedule, he potentially is going to be off Mondays and roughing on that, Monday and Tuesdays. So I was taking a break from some of the game shows, Eli, because I just needed a little bit of a change. Um, but yeah, well, I think Herbert is hit or miss. Again, I don't think the Chargers are doing anything to help him one bit. I think Herbert deserves also to go to the hit or miss tier. Eli Cheesy, what you think on that? High, good to low, great. Really, Eli? You think Herbert's that high? I guess I could kind of see the good part of that because every time he does play, it does look good, but he just doesn't. I don't think the Chargers do enough to help him. I don't think I would put Herbert over Jaden Daniels. You think he's overrated? I mean, that's fair. So I'd go good. Honestly, I would probably put Herbert in the same general area as like Jordan Love. I think Baker and Goff are still better than Herbert. Heck, I might even put Brock Purdy above Justin Herbert. I don't know. Maybe that might be too insane to do. Mm, I can't. You put him in between Jordan Love and Purdy. You're on board, but it's a hot take. I think so too. I think Purdy's better than Herbert. Do we put Justin right between Bo Nix and Brock below Purdy? See, I think we're on agreement here. I think we'll put Purdy above Justin Herbert. We'll keep Bo Nix at the bottom because again, he only had 1 year, so we can't really. We need to see more to have him go higher or lower. Kyler Murray is so mid, in my opinion. I think Murray belongs with Gino. Facts, Eli. So now my sounds aren't working again. What did we do about that? I never know. What the hell? Oh, that's right. Hydrate doesn't work. That's right. Hydrate doesn't have a sound. Tempted to put in. I was too. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about putting Kyler Murray in ass, but he's better than Richardson, Caleb Williams, though. I think he belong. Is he better or worse than Gino? I don't want to put Kyler Murray like I don't know why, but I kind of want to put Kyler Murray behind Geno. But did Murray have like one solid year, and then the rest of he's been kind of just ass. Not really ass, but he's just kind of hasn't been great, but isn't completely awful. But he's not good. I kind of want to keep him behind Geno. I think that's where I'm going to keep him. Lamar, obviously, Lamar's going to go to great. I think he's right in between Josh and Joe. You agree with that, Choosy? Lamar can go right between Allen and Burrow. I'd put him above, but I'm a fan of his. You're saying you'd put Lamar above Josh Allen? I just hate the Ravens. You know, at this point, I don't really have hate for Baltimore. I just honestly, I am so much happier watching football when I really don't cheer for a team than I did when I did cheer for a team. Like yes, I'm a Steelers fan, but I really just I was so much happier to just watch football and be like, I don't mind seeing Lamar Jackson do well, or like, oh, Joe Burrow in the same division as us. He's lighting the team up. Like I don't. It's just I'm starting to become a football fan overall rather than specific. Except for the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs. I hope everything just falls apart in Kansas City, in my opinion. That's about the only team that I can say that about. Everybody else, I'm just like, I wouldn't mind seeing them win. Buffalo has less weapons than Lamar, so I have no problem with Josh being above him. Fair. We'll leave him there. We'll leave Josh Allen above Lamar Jackson. But we can agree that outside of this idiot, these are the four other best quarterbacks in the league. Stafford. Where the hell should we put Matt Stafford? I think it makes it more fun if you watch football just to watch. That's what I'm saying. I cheer for the guys on my fantasy team. Hot take, you think Stafford goes in great? Well, this is now again. You think entering the 2025 season, you think Stafford should go into low great? High good? I mean, he's got, yes, I know he has a ring. Yes, I do know that. But we got guys on the list who doesn't have a ring up and great. I mean, we got Allen, Lamar, and Burrow all don't have a ring. If we're gonna go by rings, Yes, I know he does have a ring. I get it. I could put him in with Goff and Baker. So does Wilson, and he's ass. Exactly. Russ is ass, but he has a ring. I don't want to put Stafford in. I still think Jaden's better. Like Stafford, I could probably put him around with the Jordan Love, Baker, and Goff. I just don't know where I would put him in amongst them three. I mean, I like Stafford. I do. I just don't know where I would put him in this right here. Second good? Do you think he's above Jared Goff? You think he's right behind Jaden Daniels? I can't put Stafford above Jaden though. Not going into this season, I can't. Above Goff. Okay, you guys both agree, so I got outnumbered. So we'll put Stafford above Goff. All right, Juicy. What do you think about your quarterback, Michael Penix? You're a Falcons fan, so what do you think? We did see some bits and pieces of him last year. Um, I think he's got potential. I mean, he's got Bijan Robinson. I mean, he's got some weapons on offense. Haven't seen enough. He's going to be good, Juicy. Is that what you think? He's a lefty. I like lefty quarterbacks for whatever reason. He definitely has potential. That's about all we can really put him. Penix is just going to have to go with potential because we haven't seen enough of him to really rank him good or bad. He has an arm. He does, but there's something about lefty quarterbacks that are just so cool. I don't know. I don't feel that way about Tua though. For whatever reason, I something about Tua. It's just one of them. Like, all right, we'll just have to put Penix in potential. But I am curious to see how the Falcons do. I think Penix could be. Penix should have started the season. There's no reason why Atlanta should have paid Kirk Cousins with the money that they did. That was just stupid there. Not enough QBs or lefties. It's true. I put him in high potential, like up here with Cam Ward and Drake May. McCarthy's the only one that. Why do I have Cam Ward? I mean, I really must have not really ordered them a whole lot. I kind of just threw him in potential. All right, we got this guy. We already know he belongs up at the top, but where do you want to put Mahomey? That's true, Choosy. The Falcons don't ever do anything to improve. Their last best season was when Matt Ryan took them to the bowl. I could, I wouldn't feel bad putting Mahomes at the bottom of these four, honestly. Above Burrow, you're saying put him right in the middle, but Josh Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen Hurts. Even though people are going to say Mahomes beats Josh Allen every year in the playoffs, da 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 da. It's like I don't care. End of great. I mean, I kind of wanted to put Mahomes at the bottom. I mean, look how Mahomes played like shit in that Super Bowl. He got absolutely whooped against the Eagles. He's an elite game. I hate even putting elite beside his name. I just can't stand the guy. I think I just do it out of pure spite. Maybe that's why I dislike the guy. He's got that personality where it's like I'm gonna win whether the flags help me or not. But if you don't give Mahomes help, he really isn't that. Look at what they. But see, the thing is, last year they bottom of great out of spite works. But like the Chiefs, they didn't dominate anybody last year. They barely beat teams that were dog shit. They barely beat the Panthers. Actually, let me look up their schedule from last year. I need to see all of their games from last year. Okay, week one, they beat the Ravens because Isaiah Likely stepped out of the end zone, right? Okay. Then they beat the Bengals by 1 point simply because of a penalty at the end of the game, right? They beat the Falcons by 5 points, barely beat them. They beat the Chargers 17-10, week four, not blowing anybody out. Okay, they beat the Saints 26-13. Okay. They surely beat them. They beat the 49ers pretty fairly, 28-18. Cool, fine. They beat the Raiders by a touchdown. You're saying you can't beat the Raiders more than seven? Okay, you beat the Bucks in overtime. I hate his State Farm commercials. Facts. Okay, you beat the Bucks. Cool. Um, you beat the Broncos simply because of a penalty that that took the Broncos winning field goal away. You lost you lost to the Bills as you should because you got just simply outplayed. You barely beat the Panthers. Again, a penalty helps you get in the field goal range, or it was a penalty that helped the Panthers not get a first down or something. I know it's something controversial. You beat the Raiders again 19-17. Thanksgiving, I think it was. You barely beat them. You beat the Chargers by 2 points. You barely beat the Browns 21-7. You beat the Texans by 8. Okay, you absolutely whooped on the Steelers as you should have. And obviously you lost 38-0 to the Broncos because you took all your starters out. See, for me it's like the Chiefs are getting, yes, I sound like every other Chiefs hater right now. But it's not like they're dominating teams. They're not like, yeah, you get these fluke penalties that give you wins and give you and takes other stuff off other teams. They almost lost to all the teams they should have wiped it. They should have destroyed the Raiders, the Panthers, the Browns, but they're not they're not winning games. Like everyone claims the Chiefs are so great. They're not. But I mean, so realistically, where do you guys want to keep Patrick? Going into the 2025 season, like we're not talking about his previous years. This is ranking him based off of going into the season. I think going into the season, Mahomes is at the bottom of these four because Jalen Hurts wiped the floor with him in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But I'll listen to whatever you guys say. They need to reset and get serious again. The thing was, they lost Xavier, they lost Rasheed Rice. I think the Chiefs probably could have won a little bit better if they had both Rice and Worthy together. Because I actually drafted Rasheed Rice and Xavier Worthy thinking that they were going to just put up numbers with Patrick throwing it. I still say bottom grade. That's where I'm putting it. I don't even care if I get hate for it. That's where I'm putting the top five. I do not care how many hate comments I get for that. Don't care, and I will never change my mind. Now, next year, if we do this next year and Mahomes wins the bowl again, okay, Mahomes should go into the top tier going into the 2026 season if he wins this year's ring. Like that's understandable. But going into this season, I think he's the bottom of those five. That's where I'm keeping it. Okay, we can just say Russ is ass, right? We don't even have to talk about him. Russ is just he belongs at the bottom of ass. Like that's just all there is to it. Correct. Sam Darnold is mid, but how mid? Oh. Sam Darnold, where do we put him? Is he above Gino? I mean, maybe. Is he in between Gino and Kyler Murray? Again, maybe, potentially. Below Kyler? I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I like that. Let's just keep, yeah, Sam Darnold can go behind Kyler Murray. Again, he had Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to throw to last year. Like, and then when the playoffs came, when he actually played in a pressured game, he looked like Sam Darnold for sure. So yeah, I'm okay with putting him down there. Trevor Lawrence, I feel bad for him. T Law, I feel bad for. I just haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough really to. I mean, I have seen enough, but I don't think he's super great. Mid, okay. So how mid are we going? If we're putting T Law in mid, I mean, he's been there for a handful of years now. If he's going to be something, he would have shown it, and I don't think he's going to be. Top of mid? I was thinking that. I was thinking we put Trevor above Gino. Tua. Tua's hit or miss for me. He either looks really good or he looks really bad. I think he belongs right with Dak and Stroud. You think Tua's in the belongings in good? I think it's hit or miss when healthy. Yeah, he's good when he's healthy, and when he's not getting concussions or playing in cold weather, then he looks like shit. He needs bubble wrap around him. He needs, yeah, he does. I think he deserves to go hit or miss. I think he should go right in here with Dak and Stroud. He has a lot of stinkers, though. I know he does. Let's snooze this ad break. We're almost done. I don't know who this guy is. Who's the rookie for the Saints? Tyler. Who is this guy? I don't even know if I know who this guy is. The Saints also have Spencer Rattler. Forgot about that. Has experience playing at Oregon, Texas Tech, Louisville. 7 college seasons. Okay, so he's a little bit of an older rookie. Well, I guess we can say he's got potential, I guess. I mean, every rookie has potential until you see one way or the other. Probably should have moved the potential down, probably, but yeah, because I think the potential is better than mid. But like these three can be really good if they're good, but they can be also really bad. I don't know. Whoops. You put him in ass. Okay, do we is he not that good? He's been dog water in camp. So you don't think he has any potential, is what you're saying. Allegedly. Allegedly. But I don't know, that's a tough one. Because I feel like rookies have potential. Well, not all rookies, I guess. We can put him in ass if we want to. Watch him get cut. Okay, if he gets cut, then we know he's not good. That's what the narrative is. Okay, we'll put him in ass then. Maybe he doesn't have potential. Obviously, I think these four guys should have a lot more potential than him. Cam, Penix, May, and McCarthy. Well, that's that. So that's what our QB tier list going into 2025 looks like. Yes, I think Jalen Hurts won the bowl, but I still think Allen Burrow and Lamar are just a touch better overall than Jalen Hurts. If we want to go, well, Jalen Hurts won the bowl. We should be number one. Well, he probably should be, but I still think Josh Allen, Lamar, and Burrow are just slightly better. And honestly, the way the other four are playing, I think all four of them are better than Mahomes going into this season. I like the good category. I think Jaden Daniels being the top good is really fitting. Stafford still can produce. Goff and Mayfield and Love are kind of all on the same level. Purdy, he needs to show some more. Herbert needs help, and Bo Nix, he's only had 1 year under his belt, but I think Bo Nix is already going to be a pretty good quarterback. So we'll see. But that's where we're at. That is how we completed this. I like football. We're gonna be doing a lot of football tier lists before the season starts. I would love to talk about every week. Overall, we talk about how the week went and shit. W list, Eli? Is that what you think? I guess we'll see if this gets posted and other people think otherwise. I guess I'll let you guys know what the comments are. Um, but yeah, that's that. I don't know if I'm going to stream later tonight or not. It just depends on what the guys do. If the guys want to play something, I might stream. I may not. If they don't play, then we'll probably play something. And then tomorrow, I think Angle is going. We're going to play 7 Days to Die tomorrow, possibly. I think that's what the plan is. Potentially, hopefully, we'll see. Oh yeah, but that's how we are ranking the quarterbacks into 2025. So Tuesday, Eli, hopefully you enjoyed this. I could talk about football all the time. So Sunday, next Sunday, we're doing a tier list. Tyler is off. We're going to be doing um, music related tier list. So it's going to be um, rock bands. I think that's what it was. We're going to be doing music on Sunday. Are you done with college football, Eli? We apparently the guys want to play another college football season before Madden comes out, so they're still doing some off-season stuff. Once we get the season started again, I'll be streaming. We'll be doing another season worth before Madden comes out. So yes, we will be doing another season of college football. Are you saying hell yes to college football, or I know who will be at the top? Oh, for the next tier list. Oh yeah, I'm just telling you right now. There's only going to be one at the very top between me, Case, and Tyler. Nobody's getting past our guys. That's just all there is to it. I'm sorry. Um, did Hampson? Yes, Hampson did win the national title against South Carolina. I missed his national title stream, but he did beat South Carolina. Let me dismiss this ad again. We're all but finishing up here. But yeah, he beat Duke 76-7, and then I don't remember what he beat South Carolina in, but he did win it all. Last year, me, Angle, and Hampson, I think our franchise, we played like 5 seasons of Madden of the franchise last year. So don't be surprised if we don't go through 5 seasons of Madden again. Some will say it'll be a long way to the top. Eli, you already know. I don't make the rules, but I make the rules at the same time. And I don't that's Tyler Case and I's favorite band. And I don't think any of them I think people are gonna get outvoted anyway. I told Case and Tyler yesterday, I said, we might have to make a separate tier box just for them because they're above and beyond everybody else for us. But Tyler, he has a couple other bands. I do too. Like for me, if I had to pick a second favorite, Metallica would probably be up and they would be in the top five. But DC is gonna be is. I wish I could show you guys everything I have. I got all kinds of stuff. But yeah, DC is gonna be number one. I mean that's just a given for us in the tier list. But that'll be Sunday. We're doing bands, and there's some bands on the tier list I'd never heard of, and there's a lot of good ones. So I'm curious to see what everyone else's takes are on them, if you know the bands and if you like them or listen to them. But that'll be next Sunday. So with that, we're gonna end the stream. I'm like I said, I may or may not be live tonight. I don't know yet. But we'll go with this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And if I don't see you tonight, potentially tomorrow and the rest of the week. So, Eli, Juicy, I appreciate you hanging out with me talking about football. Uh, Ogre, if you're still here, tell your brother thank you for rating. You're a Misfits guy? I never listened to Misfits, Eli. Ogre, if you're still here, tell your brother thanks for the raid. And if there's anybody new in here that never said hi, thanks for at least lurking if you're still in here. Um, so we'll see what the next stream's going to be. Either it be tonight or tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So, Eli, Choosy, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your afternoon and rest of your